And welcome back, race fans, to another exciting race with the Champion Motorsports. Tonight, we are out here at Pocono for the first time. It's Ninth Gear Broadcasting. Guys, been in the booth. Kevin, how you doing tonight?
Man, I'm super excited for this one. I've been looking forward to this all week. The Tricky Triangle. It's an interesting design. It's only 3 turns as opposed to the 4 we're used to, but I think it's going to be a fun one, Luke.
Hey, me as well, Kevin. I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, and I think now's a good time to start with the grid and
Yeah,
care
Kevin.
if I take this one away.
Hey, she's all yours.
And on your pole tonight is going to be none other than Caleb Colburn, and on his outside is going to be Chris Hudson. Your second row is going to be Davis Braun and Ray Partridge. Third row is going to be Jay Dargert and Pierre Robitaille. Fourth row is going to be Jose Medina and Tim Collier. Fifth row is going to be Stelian Tarlev and Marcos Hernandez. Sixth row is going to be Brian Zabelski and Dennis the Janitor Pitzenbarger. Seventh row is going to be Drew Lidke and Anthony James. Eighth row is going to be Tommy Mitchell and Guillermo Siguenza. Ninth row is going to be Jackie Ricard, and Noah Loveridge. Next, you're going to have Nicholas Braz and Matt Ramona. After that, it's going to be Mike Higgins and Brian Fackler. After that, it's going to be Miguel Colon and June Martinez. And rounding us out tonight, it's going to be Scott Kukas and Miguel Romero.
You know, quite a strong field out here tonight, Kevin. It's going to be an exciting one out here, especially on a tricky track such as Pocono.
Yeah, and Pace Truck is already in. We're getting ready to roll here at Pocono, and we are green. What an early restart zone. We are not expecting. We're not used to that, Luke.
No, sir. This is our first time actually out here on Pocono. So this is going to be an exciting one, and it is going to be Caleb Colburn with the lead here to start us off tonight.
And he's going to take that high line and make it work, trying to get around the 25 of Davis Braun, who started P3. He's on the inside making that one work. But going to the first back stretch, it's going to be domination from the outside line. Colburn and Hudson getting room as they move to 1 and 2. Braun falls back in line in third place. Partridge in fourth, Dargert in fifth. We have 80 laps ahead of us, Luke. It's going to be a 2-pit type of night. I'm excited.
Hey, we're in for a long one, Kevin. It's going to be a good one. I mean, we got a lot of talented drivers out here tonight, but definitely a tricky course. So it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers hold up to these rough turn conditions.
And these guys, they've been practicing all week here. They put on a good show for us at Vegas last week, and I'm super excited to see what happens out here. Was it Vegas last week, or was it Atlanta?
I believe it was Vegas. And we're seeing a little bit of too wide racing here around the middle of the pack there. But nothing too crazy.
It was Atlanta last week, and it was a dominant win from Miguel Colon, I remember.
Ah, that's right, that's right.
Pulled it off. But, yeah, taking a look at the points standings, Davis Braun's hanging on to a pretty solid lead. 725 points as of, compared to Caleb Colburn's 658. He's up a start on him, so that helps. But, yeah, Caleb Colburn just looking for a good run here tonight, try to close that gap a little bit.
And he's off to a good start so far. 3 laps in, and he's led every single one of them.
And he started real dominant last week, I remember, and had a little bit of misfortune. Hoping he can have a bounce back week and get himself a good finish. As all 26 drivers still keeping it clean, keeping themselves on that lead line. It's not as much pack driving as we're used to seeing on these larger courses. It's more of a it's a flat track. It's more spread out, trying to take these 3 very confusing corners as fast as you can. But how about Caleb Colburn? He's been able to make it work these first 4 laps, and nobody's really even tried for the pass on him so far.
And I mean, he's had a dominant performance out here thus far tonight, Kevin.
Yeah, I've got to agree, and you know, it's very interesting seeing how the entrances of these turns have to be taken. Just there's a lot of slippage with it being as flat as it is, and I think that's going to be a big factor tonight on these tires as we get later into the race. Right now, they're just A, trying to preserve them, and B, just trying to get the fastest laps they can while they have these good tires.
Yeah, I mean, an 80-lap race, that's definitely no short one, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you want to maybe take a look at some of this footwork, see what the entrances and exits of the turns look like from a perspective of the feet.
And you'll give me a second on that one. That one is the only one that I haven't set up. We can at least get a nice overhead view here for Jay. There he is. He is currently sitting comfortably in P5 right now. Yeah, you know, no, I mean, we keep talking about how tricky this track is. Sitting P5 isn't a bad spot to sit. I mean, you're just off the leaders, and boy, you can hear those tires. Whew. Right on the line of burning those tires up, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's they're gonna go fast, I feel, here tonight at Pocono. There it is.
There she is. And yeah, I mean, just, you gotta be precise in these turns. I mean, just the slightest bit of extra throttle there on the exits can just, you know, send you right in for a one-way trip to kiss the inside wall.
Yeah, and you know, you see him just feathering it into turn 3 right there, and I assume we're gonna see the same thing in 1.
Yep, and just...
I think you can afford to give a little bit more in 1 as opposed to 2 and 3. I think 2 is gonna be your hardest turn.
Let's say with all that speed. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely you come in the hottest on turn 2.
Yeah, it really comes up on you too.
Oh yeah, it does.
Because from experience, I know I've taken those turns a little hot multiple times.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's just a good look at oops. There we go.
And it's still going to be a Caleb Colburn show thus far up here in the front pack, followed by Chris Hudson and Davis Braun. They're your front 3. And I mean, we're a very, very short length into this very long race, but I'm noticing one car actually fading off here from the main group here. It's going to be Brian Fackler. He's starting to fade off of the main group. He's 17 seconds back off the leaders, losing speed fast as he has no one to draft with at the moment.
Yeah, and you know, maybe just getting loose into some of these turns, it seems. He's losing his tires quick, and he's also losing pace quick.
And then his closest car is going to be Scott Kukas. He's going to be running in P25. He's just hanging out near the back half of the group. And it seems as though we're getting all sorts of random things.
Yeah, Just not even quite sure what that's about. I think that's going to be on one of our driver cams, but I
That
think
was Tim,
that's been
I
settled.
believe.
That's been settled for now, at least. But yeah, you know, it's definitely interesting. Um, we're an eighth of the way through this thing. We've been green the entire time. It hasn't been too much rub and racing compared to what we see typically. It's been a lot of clean racing, and it seems like it's been a Culver, Hudson, and Braun show. They've been running up together
Oh,
up there.
look at the separation from those two main groups right there. It ends with the number 24 of Jose Medina.
Medina. Yeah,
That's top 6.
that's a 3-second gap already. That's a very different pace.
Yeah, and that's going to start to close pretty soon if they don't close if this backpack doesn't close things up, and that's going to be led by your previous race winner, Miguel Colon. Oh boy, and I'm seeing some contact with that exit wall there by a lot of cars.
Yeah, look, it seems like every single one of them's kind of overcorrecting
Yeah,
and going inside a little bit.
I think we're starting to see a bit of tire wear issues here early on into this one, and we're only going on next time by lap 12. Tire wear is starting to show early here, so I don't know if it's going to be these drivers pitting off of need of fuel per se. I think it's going to be more or less off the tires in this race. Ooh, and there's some contact with the wall by Chris Hudson, and he's going to fall back to P3.
Yeah, and that was a hard hit into the wall for him. He's going to fall back not only into third, but well off the pace. He's going to lose about 3 or 4 tenths of a second just in that turn. But
just goes to show you take those turns a little hot, it can definitely knock you off pace fast at Pocono.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out our fuel window is about 29 to 32 laps, from my understanding. These guys are they've run 12 laps. They're not even halfway to the fuel gauge that they'd probably want to be at. So it's interesting to see how they're going to manage these tires for another 15 or so laps. Ron now making a good run on Coleman, getting as close as 1/10 of a second into him, but maintaining that single file. I think they have no problem getting away from the rest of the pack here, just staying single file and getting some
more
room.
contact with that turn 3 exit wall there.
Yeah, turn 3 seems to be the biggest issue so far tonight.
Watch that turn 1 exit wall here. I'm intrigued to see if anybody runs that one a little high. Though it's pretty clear. We'll look at that. Definitely the turn 3 exit's going to be the interesting one, that's for sure.
Yeah, and here it comes for the leaders. If they do get into the wall, it's gonna be right on our camera.
And we'll get a better angle here.
Everyone seemed to figure it out that time. That was actually a really clean.
Oh, and there's one right at the very end.
There's one, yep.
There's one right at the end.
But yeah, that's just, the type of. Ooh, and we got a car back there way off speed.
Yeah, it seems as though everyone's adjusting well.
But yeah, a lot of adjustments. I'm curious to see how our leader's taking these turns. Luke, you want to take a look at our current leader's cockpit, Caleb Colburn, and see, what he's made of?
Yeah, let's do it. And boy, oh boy, yet again am I jealous of that wheel. It is literally shining. think that might be his shift light. That's so that
Yeah,
is
I
pretty
thought the
pretty
same thing
awesome.
until
But
we saw blue. I'm not quite sure what the blue's about. I saw the green, yellow, then the red.
maybe you're able to set the colors on it potentially. I think I see
Maybe, but how
Braun
about
fighting for the
Braun on the
inside there. Yeah, I
inside?
was about to say Braun on the
Yeah, how about we
inside.
go back to the
He's starting to get a good run.
some TV cams and see. Talk about good runs. Hudson's made his way back up, and Partridge now in the mix. Only 7/10 of a second back on him.
Yeah, he's hanging back here. He's not too far off the main group. I mean, he's just trying to stay in their draft here, I think. I mean, he's still got a lot of laps left. I mean, you're in no real rush to gain on these guys, so I think he's just trying to stay at a good pace here and keep his tires where he wants them.
Yeah, and I don't mean to be negative, but I do think that it is highly probable that we will see a caution tonight. So a lot of these guys, strategize how am I going to stay up in the mix, but also stay out of any possible incidents. And I think running about 7/8 of a second behind the 3 leaders is a smart move.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, you got to remember, checking up and trying to avoid a wreck in the middle of a turn in a track like this is a hell of a lot harder than trying to avoid a wreck in the turn on Talladega or Daytona.
Yeah, I've got to agree. Especially when these guys are, fighting to keep it straight as is with the tire wear.
Oh yeah, I mean just like we kept saying, just the slightest overcorrection or the slightest bit of extra throttle can cause these trucks to spin out. So I mean, you can only imagine when you throw an offset car in the mix, sideways on the track or something, or all sorts of situations it could be caused. But so far, it's been a Caleb Colburn show. He's been able to fend off Davis Braun pretty well for the most part, but Braun's had some good runs here. He's almost gotten the pass, but I think he's just trying to figure out what works early on. But he's going to go for the pass again on the inside here. Davis Braun getting a good run going up on the inside. He's got Chris Hudson right on his bumper, but he's actually going to swap back over there to Caleb Colburn. But that's still going to give Davis Braun the inside and just give him a faster line there, and he's going to beat Caleb Colburn out of the turn there. And I believe Mike Higgins just went off the track here. And he's in the pits. It seems as though he went off the track a little bit ago. Maybe some damage. But here comes the leaders. They're going to go across the start-finish for the start of lap 18. Mike Higgins now in the pits. Ooh, a little bit of wall rubbing there from Chris Hudson in P3. Boy, look at the map right now. Look how spread out this field is getting.
Yeah, and this is just a skill difference representation, I want to say, because a lot of these guys were out here grinding this week, seeing how these cars are going to handle for 20, 30, 40 plus laps on the same tires, and I think it's going to show because they're still able to put up good lap times, whereas others are really having some problems with the grip.
Yeah, no doubt, but I mean, it seems as though that they're adjusting well, like we said, but I mean, at the same time, you really got to be careful on a track like this, so.
Yeah, and Tim Collier comes in for a pit as well. He is now exiting.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we're starting to get to that, I believe we're getting to that range now that, the tires are really starting to become an issue for some of these drivers, and they're maybe just electing to take the pit a little early and, get the fuel in a little early and get on some new tires, because the wear is clearly starting to show early on here.
Yeah, and it's also possible
and we got a caution. We got crashing. Mike Higgins is involved.
Oh, no. It's going to be a... Is that Mike?
I'm confused. That was Mike in the pits. Yeah, I'm confused here. Let's take a look. Caution was thrown. That was our view of the caution, apparently. And we'll go back to the... Oh, Mike Higgins crash, maybe? Here we go, let's see. This is Mike Higgins crash here, let's see.
Well...
Huh. I gotta say I'm a little confused here. Maybe we just took a lap
He's
20
now reading
caution?
out.
Maybe we took a lap 20 caution? I don't know.
Possibly.
That'd be my best guess here.
Is anybody in the pits?
Nope.
See Loveridge, Braz, and Romero down a lap.
Yeah,
But
they're regaining. I know. Oh, never mind. We did see some pits, so earlier before the caution, so I would imagine they're just waiting for. They're just kind of fuel saving right now, waiting for the leaders to go in so they can hop up
well,
front.
Luke, you had the privilege of joining in on the CMS drivers meeting before the race. Is there a chance you were perhaps daydreaming when they talked about stages?
I mean, there was a damn good chance, Kevin. There was a damn good chance.
Well, that's the way she goes sometimes. We'll try to get info to you viewers on what that one was about.
Whenever we receive word of what it was about. And here come the pits. We are going to see 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 cars going into the pits here. That's going to be everybody except for Noah Loveridge, Nicholas Bros, and Miguel Romero. They're going to be the only three staying out right now. Other than, of course, Higgins, who is reading out, but...
Yeah, I think Higgins' day is over. I'm not quite positive what happened, but it looks like he just parked it. If he had better places to be.
Yeah, maybe. Tough to say. And off they go, and it is going to be Davis Braun with the lead out of pit row here. As we jump back to our current people out here chilling behind the pace truck, it's going to be, oh boy, and I'm sure I'm going to be butchering this. Jacques Richard? Jacqueus?
There's just not,
there's
there's
not
just not a chance
there's
in
not
high
a,
hell you got
yeah,
that
there's
right.
just no way I got that right, and I apologize in advance for butchering that, and I'm just going to refer to him as Richard.
I think it might be Jackie. That'd be my guess.
Jacques Richard. We're probably just making this worse.
Au revoir, Ricky Booby. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. Let me see if
Go to the
there's a
pronunciation chart.
pronunciation on the. Yeah, I'm looking it up.
You know, the only good thing about, or well, not the only good thing. One of the good things about Pocono out here is we pace for a while, so that gives us just all the extra time in the world to bullshit.
Yep, just never anything important either.
Never
How it is.
never a single thing important.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list right now. I'm trying to see but he's not on there. But I'm seeing if anybody else's names we fucked up.
It's probably a good number of them.
Yeah, there is.
We got our grade 10.
Yeah, I've messed up Brian Shabelsky. It's Shabelsky. I've been saying Zabelsky, I think. Pierre Robitaille. There's just not a chance I've said that right every time.
Nope. I definitely called him Pierre Robitaille. I definitely have.
Robitaille.
Robitaille.
I know you, for some whatever reason, can't get it through your mind how to say Jose Medina. You keep saying Medina, so that's gonna be one you have to work on.
Should have put an E in there, not an I. All jokes, of course. Working on our pronunciation, as always, over here at Ninth Gear Broadcasting.
Okay, and it's Brian Faulkner. We've been saying Fackler.
Oh, God.
I think that's as far as the ones we've been messing up.
That's far, that is.
Thus far.
Oh, but they are on the exit of not turn 4, count 'em, turn 3, and we're going to be going green this time by.
Yeah, and we're gonna be
As the
going
pace truck
green with
swoops in.
58 to go. So, a lot of racing left.
And the
It
green
can
flag
be
is
dumbed
being
down.
waved. Here we go.
It can be dumbed down to a one pit stop, I think, with some fuel savings. So, yeah, that really is gonna shake things up. I'm excited to see, but we are green. Um, Richard with a good lead on the outside, but here comes Caleb Colburn, and he is coming with some speed, followed by none other than Davis Braun. Colburn cycles to the outside, Braun stays on his inside. They're side by side behind Colburn, who is a car length ahead of everybody. But here comes Braun on his inside. He's going to get the speed through the turn. He is almost going to clear. Not quite going to clear Colburn, as Colburn maintains the lead here. They are not side by side anymore, but going through the turn, Colburn gets his line, so that's going to give him a good run.
Yeah,
Hudson has made his way back into the mix.
Oh boy. Good bit of rubbing with
70,
that turn 3 exit wall.
yeah, and that the 74 or the 75 of Richard has fallen all the way from P1 to P8 on this restart. P9 now.
You know, it's really interesting to see how different these drivers are able to take these turns, especially with fresh tires.
Yeah, and that it is. It's just it's a different game out there. Whole different. It feels like a whole different car. I know from experience.
Yeah. Looks like we're getting back to that single file wide racing. Saw 2 wide air for a while on the early laps, but lines are getting settled and everyone's just trying to get back in the groove here now, I think. And oh, we're going to see a caution. We're hearing wrecking. Noah Leverage is involved.
Leverage is involved, and how about
Anthony M. James
backwards?
as well.
Yeah, he's backwards trying to straighten his car out.
Yeah, we're going to go back and take a look at what happened there. Yeah, it's going to happen right between Anthony M. James and Noah Loveridge.
Oh!
And Noah Loveridge with a... well, we're going to have to go back there on that one, I think. Maybe we get a cockpit view here of Noah Loveridge.
Yeah, and it seems like he just didn't... That was his turning point. Let's go back a little bit more there. That was his turning point. It seemed, he didn't really turn. He kept going straight. Let's take a look here. I think James expected him to turn, so he started his turn.
Yeah, I think he just starts his turn a little late.
Yeah, and it almost looks like James got a little in front of him, though. I don't know. We're gonna let the drivers and the fans decide on that one.
You know, we'll actually see if we can maybe get a good view of here.
Luke, is there any chance you could get an image up on stream if I send it to you?
That I could.
I just need the viewers to see this. This is the oh, wait a second. But this is what you're gonna see is going to be the cockpit setup of Tim Collier. His camera's not working right now, so we can't get live. But this is gonna be a picture of his in-car cockpit. And man, I just want to take a second and look at this thing. It's a setup of. It's a beaut, Luke. It's a beaut.
Yeah, let's take a look. And holy sweet Jesus.
He has
That
a
is something to
caution
gawk over.
flag light up above his monitor. I don't know if you see that. It says yellow flag. He has a caution light.
He has his
on
name up above his screen as well. That is... I can't lie. That is pretty damn awesome.
It's a sweet setup. He's got the tri-monitor with the, I don't know, is that a Moza wheel? I can't even tell what wheel it is.
I think I see an S
It's
on there
matching.
somewhere. Yeah, whatever it is, it's fucking awesome.
I want one.
Yeah, whatever it is, I
And
want.
how about, look in the bottom right. Oh, I don't really capture it very well in the picture. But I'll just fill you in. He's got a speedometer.
Oh, yeah, is that a
I don't know if you
speedometer
can
down
see-
here somewhere?
Yeah.
No, that's a cutoff, but yeah, I think I see where it starts.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty crazy.
So
What an insane setup there by
setup
Tim
of the night
Collier.
goes to Tim Collier, but
He's rocking back in P9 right now. Yeah, big shout out to Tim Collier for putting these things on. These are some very fun races to commentate. A very large variety of tracks. It's definitely a lot of fun, at least compared to what we're used to. I know we traditionally only see our big super speedways, which are fun in their own respect, but it is definitely nice to see the variety of talent of some of these drivers getting to take on some different courses. You know, different level of difficulty. That's for sure. Takes a
yeah, and oh, keep going.
I was going to say it's definitely a whole different ball game when it comes to turns like these on these kind of tracks.
Yeah, and adding on to your point about thanking Tim Collier, I don't want to spoil anything, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I will say, after this season, I don't think the end of this season is going to be the last you see between CMS and Ninth Gear Broadcasting. I think there's a lot more to come between the two of us, and I'm excited, Luke.
Hey, me as well, Kevin. Me as well. I always have fun broadcasting these races. You know, we're going to be approaching lap 28 here upon the restart. The drivers have had their time to take a pit. They've you know, they've had their time to settle into this race, Kevin. I think they found out what lines are working. What do you think the strategy is here for some of these drivers maybe sitting in the back of the pack that need to make up some space here?
Yeah, I don't know. They're getting the cautions. That's step one. Cautions always help bring the pack back together, but it's really just gonna have to be figuring out how to take these lines faster. Um, with the tire wear.
Oh yeah, no
And,
doubt.
and shout out to Caden Colburn. He's in the chat right now. His brother is Caleb Colburn. And how about we get a little Caleb Colburn cam on the restart for him?
Yeah, might as well.
And oh, there it is.
I think we're hearing a bit of fuel saving there by Caleb Colburn.
Yeah,
Look
and
at that.
this really helps. I was saying maybe can get to the end on one more pit, and I think with this caution, I'm more confident in it, and
Yeah, he pit back on
I
lap
would
20 with the other leaders. Pace truck
I
is going to
would
be in, though.
I would bet that he can get to the end now.
Green flag.
Yep.
On one more caution, that is, not right now.
And off we go, working through the gears. It's Caleb Colburn with the restart.
And he takes that inside. He's got a
We'll watch him for the first
he's
lap.
got-
How
he's got-
about it?
yeah. He's got Braun cleared all the way through. As yeah, you can see those tires. It's a flat track, but there's also that dip coming out of 1 and coming out of 3. The car doesn't like it, Luke. The truck does not
No, not at all.
agree with it. As you can see, I mean, he's taking that with very maximum precision. I know.
Good
I don't
God,
think
yeah.
I would be able to keep it off the wall.
I mean, I don't know how he didn't. I mean, just just being on this track a few times and having a really solid relationship with the exit turn walls. I mean, it's incredible to see how some of these drivers are managing to hold it together.
Yeah, and that it is.
Yeah, Caleb Colburn off to another good start here. He's been very dominant in this race thus far.
Yeah, leading the majority of these laps. I think we have scored him leading 27. Him leading 27, Braun leading 1, and Richard leading 1.
Oh, and some
Ooh.
contact there on that turn 3 exit wall again.
man.
Oh boy. And yeah, it is. It is the turn 3 exit wall tonight that is. It seems to be the turn for the drivers. Yeah, they are. Seem to be having issues with that one. I am intrigued. What does this look like? Oh, that's gonna be perfect for the exit wall.
Oh,
I got us our exit
here
wall
they
cam.
come.
Here they come. And let's get a counter going. Let's see. We got none thus far.
So good.
None. None. Oh, good shit, boys.
And you know, as soon as we're hoping for a little bit of wall contact, to keep it clean. I think they're adapting, and I think that's a good sign for a lot of these drivers out here because
Especially the ones fuel saving.
Yeah, especially the ones fuel saving because really it's just a game of letting your car do the work. At the point of exit of 3, they're not really trying to get it up against the wall. They're trying to
Ooh, and a little bit of
how much.
contact there with the turn 2 exit wall by the, what is that, the number 87? That's going to be, it's going to be Miguel Colon. And I believe someone behind him as well got into that. I don't know who that was specifically, but I did see another vehicle involved in that wall. Here
Yeah,
they
but
go again.
as I was saying, you know, I think it's less of trying to get it up as close to the wall as you can, and more of, you know, letting the car move up itself, and then just, you know, correcting a little bit to keep it off the wall. It's really a game though of letting your car move up the track by itself.
I don't know if you saw back there, Kevin, but we were going across the restart, and correct me if I'm saying it wrong again. Pierre Robitaille?
I think so.
Right? He was on the turn 3 exit there, and I thought I saw him take it a little hot. He dipped really far into the inside line, got a little loose perhaps. So I'm kind of following him here. Maybe as we go towards the as they approach the turn 3 entry, or at least as he approaches the turn 3 entry. Yeah, he holds it together fine there. It's still going to be Caleb Colburn here leading us off on lap 33 at Pocono.
Yeah, and Braun's cut it down to about 0.3 of a second. He was about 0.5 about 5 laps ago, so he's trending in the right direction, especially now he's in his draft. You can see on this back straight, he just really catches up to his back bumper, and the turns are kind of killing him a little bit. He's losing about 0.1 of a second on that turn, at least.
It seems as though Caleb Colburn just knows the lines to take out here. I guess he's getting really good leads on these guys behind him.
Yeah, and you see he's finding a little bit of grip, putting his left tires on that yellow line. I think that might be the name of the game through some of these turns.
Yeah, you gotta wonder. Well, Jay Darger, he's made his way up into P5. He's not too far off the leaders there. It's about 1.8 seconds back and gaining, so he's in a comfortable spot.
Yeah, and you know, we had the pedal cams for him. It seems we've since lost that, so...
We can attempt to put that back on.
No, I mean, he's gone.
Oh, never mind. We cannot. In your top 4, it's going to be Caleb Colburn, Davis Braun, Chris Hudson, and Miguel Colon. They're their top 4, and they're almost 2 seconds clear of P5, and 4 seconds clear of P6, 7, and almost 5 seconds clear of 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah, this front group they have the right amount of cars. They're dominating, but they're also able to take their lines. Draft is.
Ooh, and I think we're seeing some cars loose on the inside back there.
Oh yeah, getting into that wall. It's getting testy back there.
Yeah, but it seems as though they held it together.
If you look, that wall almost comes in a little bit too, which just doesn't help.
It's just such a funky turn.
Yeah.
Such a weird groove, especially as the tire wear starts getting pretty influential on some of these drivers. Oof. Boy, I mean, I just can't get over how weird of an exit turn that is. I mean, dips down into the inside. It's just such a funky turn for these drivers.
Yeah, and
Definitely gonna be the story of the night.
It really has been, and I think we haven't really talked enough about two, because turn 2 they're not having any problems with, but I think that's where we're seeing a lot of these guys' speed fall off. Like we said earlier, it really comes up on you. It's really dramatic and terrifying even, but I think a lot of these guys are losing time being too cautious on it.
Yeah, I mean, and assuming we stay green here, which I mean, it's really anyone's guess if we will. It's going to make things really interesting if we do stay green for these drivers that elected to maybe stay back a little bit. I mean, that could put them just too far out of reach here of these leaders if we stay green.
Yeah, and that's true, but I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna stay green with these tires wearing down quickly.
It's tough to say. I mean, like you said, they're in that fuel window now where they can make it to the end of the race. So I mean, it's
off one more.
Well, yeah, upon the I mean, it's definitely gonna make things sketchy here, no doubt here as we approach the back half of this race. We're seeing P3 and 4 door to door here, and oh, 87 barely gets that pass there. That was a close one. And even
that's gonna be last week's winner, Miguel Colon, and he's now into a podium spot as he gets around Chris Hudson.
Yeah, but don't count out James Dargard. He's still up there with him. He's trailing about 3 seconds back, but he's gonna be your P5 runner right now. Yeah, look at the map again. We're starting to see the space be created again.
Yeah, we really are, and I'm surprised we haven't seen more people fall even further back.
Yeah, look at that separation. I mean, they are certainly spread thin out here. That's for sure. Some through the back straightaway right now, and some going into the entry of turn 3. There we go. We get to see our favorite turn again. Yeah, it seems as though everyone's found the right groove now. Like I said, I think they've kind of finally settled things in, and these drivers got the lines down. Your 4 front runners still have not changed. Caleb Colburn, Davis Braun, Miguel Colon, and Chris Hudson. They are going to be your top 4. Oh, and how about Colon diving for the inside here? Colburn's going to dive down and defend that one. Going to kind of leave Braun stranded up near the high line, but he's still going to stay in it. Now Davis Braun, he's gonna actually fade off pretty far here. It's going to be Hudson with the advantage on the inside line there for P3. He's going to get clear.
Yeah, and it seems like Braun's been able to take his shot at the lead with Colburn. It seems like Hudson's been able to take his shot at the lead with Colburn. Is it Cologne's turn to take a swing at it and see if he can get around Colburn and lead a couple of these laps?
I mean, it definitely could be. He was your previous race winner, so I mean, if anyone could do it, I mean, I'm definitely keeping my money on him.
Gotta agree as we reach the halfway point of this race.
I think I'm hearing a little bit of contact there with the some of those walls. I mean, we keep commenting on it time and time again because, I mean, it is such a big factor in these races, these tires. Tire wear is really going to start to play into effect here. We have officially crossed the halfway point of the race, so it's definitely going to really start to become a factor now. And I mean, I don't want to jinx things, Kevin, but so far I don't think we've seen, and I mean, we're still going to have to get that first one cleared up with the officials, but we haven't seen any crazy incidents out here tonight thus far.
Yeah, we saw that
little
one
between,
where
was it James and Lovejoy, or what was that between?
It was Noah Love.
It was Love. Was
Love something.
Why am I blanking here?
Loveburn, maybe.
I don't know. He's not in the race anymore. Oh no, Loveridge. There he is. He's in P20.
Loveridge.
He's in P20. I don't know why. I just couldn't find his name there for a minute. Yeah, that front group's shifting around here. Miguel Colon going to be the race leader here upon lap 43. And yeah, we're just seeing that separation start to really take into effect here from these front four. They're now up 3 seconds on Dargrit. These leaders really starting to get some separation here. And boy, look at that group fading off the back right there. Group of 4 cars, sorry, fading off the lead group. They are very far off. That's gonna be Richard. What's that? Ramona, Bros, and
yeah, and
Bachler.
I don't know if you remember, but leading our green flag restart around like lap, what was it, 2022? Richard actually started out.
I was about to say, yeah, he was your leader there for a while. Maybe. When did he pit back there? Let's see. He pitted on lap 25, so maybe he took an earlier pit there. Maybe that's why he was on the lead of the restart there. Maybe he had to take a pit in between, potentially. That's why he faded off. I don't know. It's tough to say, but Caleb Colburn riding the outside line here. He's rocking back in P2. Chris Hudson on his inside line. Now files in behind him. We heard a little bit of wall contact there from Caleb Colburn with the turn 2 wall. I mean, this really gives you a good representation of how far off these other drivers have faded off the leaders here. I mean, look at that gap there between what is that, like P6 to like P10, P9.
Yeah, and you know, it seems to me like they're running in more groups than I anticipated. It doesn't seem like it's a lot of like super high draft pack driving, but I mean, then you just look at the lap time or the gaps, and it seems like they are in groups. So, not quite sure about that.
Yeah, but then again, a caution can completely flip this race on its head. So,
yeah.
Really is up to the discretion of these drivers here on how this one's going to finish. It is still going to be Miguel Colon leading us off here. He has had a very successful night here thus far. I mean, he's been riding up near the front of the group, but not... he hasn't had his chance to shine here up until now, Kevin. He's taking command here later on into this race.
Yeah, and you know that he is. It seems to have been the Colburn show all the way up until the past about 5 laps, where um Cologne has just taken over, and Colburn really hasn't been able to get back around them.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta wonder, is it a tire wear issue, or what might it be here? And what's going on, Brandon? Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if we can commentate dirt. We don't really know much about it, but like I said, we're definitely down to give it a go, as long as it doesn't interfere with any of our other races and stuff. I'm trying to remember, what time is our races on Wednesday again? Because we do have a race on Wednesdays.
10:20.
10:20. That's with what? That's with R&R, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So.
I know a little bit more about dirt than Luke does.
Yeah.
I watched the Chili Bowl, so I know what I'm doing.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
You know,
Chili
we're
Bowl
fast.
Pro over here.
Yeah, we're fast learners.
We're gonna see a pit here by the sorry car of Tommy Mitchell. He's going in here.
Yeah, we're open on Tuesdays. I think Tuesdays.
I think that's our open day,
Tuesdays
right?
and Fridays are our open days.
Fully open. Okay.
Due to recent unfoldings. But oh hell yeah, you have a dirt team on iRacing. That's cool. Yeah, don't know much about dirt. Is it more of like the midgets or like the late models, or what type of cars is it?
That's a good question. Oh, we got a car sideways on the inside line.
We're under caution.
That's gonna be Tommy Mitchell. He was sideways there on the back straightaway. And we have a yellow flag out here tonight, and we're gonna have to go back and take a look at what that one was thrown for. And I think
Oh, and that's gonna be the 68 of
that's Tommy Mitchell.
Tommy Mitchell, and he's got that scheme that we
Oh,
talk
yep.
about.
The sorry cam. Or the sorry truck. And it seems he just gets a little loose leaving the pits here. And oh! He coasts back up onto the track, but keeps it to himself. And it seems as though they race the big blocks on the dirt.
I gotcha. Yeah, they're some pretty cool cars.
Seems as though that was a single vehicle incident right there. But he didn't take any damage, so it seems as though he holds it together. We're going to be pacing around again. Yeah, Brandon, we got to get you out on the oval, too, sometime. You should put up some laps at Talladega. Yeah, how about Miguel Colon here leading us off here? As we're going to be pacing around again. I believe we're going to be going green on lap 51.
Yeah, it's gonna leave us with a little under 30 laps to go. I would expect the pits to come here.
Yeah, I mean, if not, I mean, it's really gonna be tough to say. I mean, you got a chance some of these drivers might be able to hang out here. Oh, and Brandon does run oval. I'm just waiting on the actually waiting on what is it the season to end on iRacing so I can get my promotion. Then I can get caution races. Cannot wait. Yeah, we're going to be pacing around here for the third time tonight. Still not too sure what the first caution was for there. And yeah, just as you called it, Kevin, here come the pits. And I believe we are going to see... Yep. Pretty much the entire field come in here. And no, yeah, the whole field is going to come in. No surprise there. Miguel Colon going to be the first driver to reach his pit stall here. Although Colburn does have one up at the very front, so it's going to really be a race between those two to see who can get out of here first. Probably going to see Colon with the exit. Yep, there goes Colon on the exit. He's got some speed. And I think Colon's going to have the lead here on the exit. And yep, he's just going to get that. He's just going to get it on the exit.
You gotta love having that late pit box though if you're Caleb
Oh no, he
Colburn.
does take it. He does get it out. Caleb
Wow.
Colburn's gonna win that.
Yeah, to add on to what I was just about to say,
Yeah.
that late pit box, it's just so easy compared to some of those mid-pack pit boxes. You can go in late, and then you don't have to worry about traffic when you're exiting your stall either.
You can leave in a straight line
Um,
if you really want to.
yeah, you have the that entire little field of asphalt where you can just gun for it.
Yeah. I mean, so far, it seems as though most of the race out here tonight has been a Caleb Colburn show. He's made his way back up to the lead.
Yeah, it just seems like it's been Colburn and then a little bit of Cologne and then Braun and Hudson have been lurking, just not able to get the leading the laps aspect in.
And I mean, just a couple others to point out here. I mean, Tarlev has made his way up into the bunch now. Now that, of course, now that we're pacing around now, all these cars are going to be bunched back up together. Brian Sabelski, he's going to be another one up there. Jose Medina, Drew Lidke, and Dennis the Janitor Pitzenbarger, he's going to be in running P9. And to round off the top 10, Jay Partridge. Got a solid group up here running in our top 10, and it's going to be an interesting one as they're going to be going green here with 52 or on lap 52 at Pocono. I believe we're going to see the lucky dog out there. That's going to be Tommy Mitchell after his unfortunate pit exit last lap. Still one of, I think it might honestly be my favorite scheme out here of the night. It's
Yeah,
the sorry scheme is pretty cool. Kevin, I gotta ask, what was the favorite board game growing up, if you had to pick?
Yeah, it depends what age. Like,
Well, I mean, let's talk about one that you could still play now and wouldn't like be bored out of your mind.
well, Luke, I know I've told you about this. I'm quite the Monopoly fanatic. I play a lot of Monopoly.
I have to agree with you there, Kevin. Always a classic Monopoly out there. Just taking a look out here at some of our other schemes out here. I'm seeing a lot of, obviously seeing our couple Can-Am schemes out here with the Can-Am team. I believe we saw, what was it, a DeWalt? Yeah, DeWalt Tools Toyota, it seems, right there near the middle. We got the Pepsi truck back there as well. I believe that is, who's rocking the Pepsi truck? That's Miguel Romero. He's rocking the Pepsi truck. But they're going to be going green this time by. Pace truck is going to be heading in. It's going to be the command of Caleb Colburn, followed by Miguel Colon on his outside line.
Green flag.
And the green flag is being waved, and we are green again, once again, at Pocono. Caleb Colburn with a good run on the inside line. He has got a good pass up there. He's going to slide to the high line and leave Ron a little stranded on that low line for now.
Yeah, and look out for Davis Braun. He's coming in on that inside line, and he files in behind Colburn. It looked like he tried to take it a little bit shallow.
And we're like 3 or 4 wide back there near the back and middle pack right now. They're trying to get their positions up quick, it seems. Oh, and there's contact! It's the 187,
Ooh.
Miguel Romero. They're bumping. Still bumping, and he spins the 75. And we're still green out here at Pocono.
Very shocking decision based off what we've seen to stay green there, but we do, and Colburn maintains the lead with Cologne on his inside, looking for a way to get around.
It doesn't look like he's going to get it. Caleb Colburn's going to block him off. And,
Ooh,
bit of a brake check there, it seems.
Yeah, and that's going to give a little bit of a run for Tarlev to get up there in the mix.
Yeah, we're going to see Miguel Romero head into the pits there. No doubt he took some heavy damage from that one, but Richard electing to stay out. I mean, as far as we saw, he only kind of got spun there near the end. I don't think he really suffered too much damage, but maybe take a look back at that one later on. as we are still green here. Caleb Colburn. It's been a Caleb Colburn show all night tonight. He's been seeming to find a way to get things done all night tonight, despite these drivers passing. It seems as though they're already starting to get that pack separation and ending there with Brian Sabelski. He's starting to fade off there, and behind him is going to be Drew Lidke in that second group. Like you said, Kevin, a lot of group racing out here, it seems.
Yeah, and that it is. It's just a good mix of, you know, 3 or 4 cars all running together, and then just that's it.
So far, it seems like it's been a Caleb Colburn, Miguel Colon, and Davis Braun kind of night tonight. But how about Tarlev? He's made his way up into the top 4.
Yeah, that he has. It's been kind of a quiet night for him. We haven't been talking much about him, but he's really made his way up into the mix.
Yeah, you see that front group. It's gonna consist of about 5 cars. Chris Hudson, he's at the very end there, and like I said, Brian Sabelski, he's gonna be kind of working off the tail end of that group there. He's running about 1.5 seconds back, but he's definitely not out of it. So far, so good off the restart. The drivers are seeming to hold things together pretty well out here. Miguel Colon hot on his tail. He is looking for his chance back at the lead. But I know Davis Braun definitely wanting to taste at the lead as well. He's been riding shotgun back in P2 and hanging also near P3 for a vast majority of this race. No doubt he's wanting to get up there and get a taste of the lead. Hearing a little bit of wall ride back there. Take a look at that turn 3 exit wall, see how the drivers are taking that line. Seems as though everyone's got it down pat. I would hope so. I'm seeing a cone loose in the middle of the track back there in the turn 1 entry, I think. So still up there for a minute. Maybe someone hit it off the track. Yeah, Miguel Colon hot on the bumper of Caleb Colburn. They're starting to actually get a bit of separation there. It ain't going to be enough. Braun's going to stay with them. Chris Hudson making his way back up into P4, Tarlev back into P5. You know, we've seen a lot of position swapping around the top 5 to top 6 spots, but the lead really hasn't changed all that much out here tonight, Kevin. We've seen some pretty familiar faces up in the front.
Yeah, and you know that we have. It's been the same guys we saw last week, as far as like the top 4 goes.
I mean, we got to wonder, are we going to start to see a little repeat pattern here as we're, I believe, approaching the playoffs?
Yeah, and you know, it's not actually a playoff style league. It's a Winston style. So just a points race, and right now Davis Braun is winning that race, but Caleb Colburn closing it in week by week.
Yeah, well, I mean, with performances like we're seeing out here tonight, I mean, it's easy to see why. He's really getting things done out here.
Yeah, Davis Braun just didn't seem like he would be, beatable at all after he won the first 3 races of the season. Then Caleb Coburn came out and won Daytona, and the momentum kind of went from there. It was a real momentum shifter. But still a long way to go to catch him, as they were about a 70-point difference.
And, I mean, wins like these can definitely help here for Caleb Coburn in terms of the point standings, but when it comes to just this race specifically, Davis Braun is definitely got to try to get something to work here if he wants to pass Caleb Coburn. He's been dominant all night tonight. You see they're approaching the lap car there. He was involved in that incident earlier on. He is going to have a fresh car, though, so I doubt they'll be gaining on him too fast.
Yeah, and they're really cutting it close on fuel. I think they can get to the end based off when they pit. They all pit around 49 or 50, under caution. I wouldn't say they wasted fuel until about 51, and it's an 80 lap race. That's about 29, and we said our fuel window was 28 to 32. So it's right there in the middle. But you got to start wondering, is the green-white checker possibility going to be an option for these guys?
I mean, you never know, especially, I mean, assuming this does stay green out here. All these drivers are going to be running on some pretty slick tires. I mean, when they start trying to push these things to the limits the last couple laps, I mean, anything can happen. I mean, we've seen some issues, obviously, with the exit of Turn 3 all night. One can only imagine how that's going to look the last lap or two.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, our longest green run has been about 20 laps, so it's going to be interesting to see how these guys do if we do get to about that 30 lap point with their tires.
And I believe Caleb Colburn's going to start to catch the draft of that lap car now. And, we haven't been to one in a while. Let's go and hop on board our leader's cockpit camera here. See how he's doing out here tonight. It seems as though the lap car is going to probably try to stay high for him in the turns. But, I mean, you can see out here on a track like Pocono, I mean, draft really isn't the biggest thing out here. I mean, he's not even gaining on the guy too awfully fast there. But, I mean, keep in mind, Romero does have a fresher car. He was in the pits, so. Ooh, a little bit of rubbing with the wall there. It's Caleb Colburn. He holds things together, though, and it seems as though he's still going to, he's going to have his momentum. He's still got his momentum perfectly fine. It seems as though the strategy for him all night's been kind of hugging that yellow line just a little bit.
Yeah, there's grip to be had down there, so it's definitely something to pay attention to, see if he keeps doing it as these tires get less and less reliable.
Some grip to be had down there.
Yep.
Let's see how this happens to NASCAR announcers so easily.
I just don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know I was in the broadcast booth with Glenn fucking Quagmire. I mean, Jesus.
Oh!
He goes a little too low on that one, it seems. Gets a little bit of grass, and that's going to have a huge run for Braun, as Braun is now less than a tenth of a second up on him. He's right on his tail. Cologne falls back to P4, but he is still right there. It's a tight P4, and he comes back up to P3. And we get rid of that.
I think we're starting to see the lines fan out a little bit here due to that lap car.
Yeah, not only that, but they're getting a little antsy. There's 17 laps to go, and there's only been a few lead changes tonight, so they're seeing what they can make happen now.
everyone just trying anything to make the pass here on Caleb Colburn. I mean, seems as though either he's been out here practicing a couple extra laps than everybody else or something. He's been able to find the magic line or the sweet spot out here all night tonight. Davis Braun hot on his heels. He's looking for his first taste of the lead out here tonight. And we see that second group taking the turn 3 exit. No, Richard.
Ooh.
Or that was Richard, sorry. That was
James.
That was James, I think. Or no, that was Pierre. That was Pierre. How about Davis Braun? He's starting to close the distance on Caleb Colburn. I think we haven't been on an onboard of this one yet. Let's go take a look at Davis Braun, see how he's been doing.
Yeah, getting a little bump draft going on that back straight. Might as well. It's such a long straightaway. Ooh. Can't really get it closer than that.
God, I mean, it is just nerve-wracking seeing the inside car cam of some of these drivers.
No doubt.
Dear Lord, that one especially. Oh boy, and yep, looking at that turn 3 exit wall, we're seeing some drivers having some issues there in that second group. But as it stands, Caleb Colburn and Davis Braun, they're going to be your 2 leaders right now. They're starting to get some clearance on P3, 4, and 5. Yeah, they're really starting to get some separation here. They're almost a good second and a half back from these drivers behind them. They're seems as though they're kind of racing too wide up there. Seems as though Cologne took that line a little inside there.
Yeah, and just can't really get up. Hudson kind of blocking him out there.
How about Hudson running that line a little extra high there, it seems. Yeah, your front runners, Caleb Colburn and Davis Braun, they're really starting to get a good little lead here on Tarlev and P3. They're almost 1.4 seconds up on them.
Yeah, and only 14 laps to go. It's a good sight to see for them. They're trending in the right direction to get themselves a 1-2, but I'd like to point out, Luke, Colburn, not only needs to do good to gain in these point standings, but he also kind of needs Davis Braun to do bad.
Yeah,
because he's chasing Braun. So
yeah, the better Braun does, the more it. I mean, I'm not saying it hurts Colburn, but it makes the win a little less sweet. The better Braun finishes in a point standing sense.
Yeah.
Regardless, this win is still would still be very crucial for Caleb Colburn. But I mean, we're approaching 12 to go. The space is definitely there on the track. I mean, we're seeing a lot of group racing here, it seems. How about it? Colburn and Braun approaching almost 2 seconds ahead of Tarlev in P3. Yeah, they're really starting to get some separation from that now second group is what we're going to have to start calling them with the amount of space they're creating. Your 2 leaders are going to be, as it stands, in a drag race for first.
Yeah, and they do have a lot of room on Tarlev, Cologne, and Hudson, but if Tarlev, Cologne, and Hudson work it out and get together, that little bit of draft might be enough for them to start making up some time, but they're just too spaced right now. They're not really working together at all. And back where you see it right there, they're too wide, so that's not really helping anything.
Yeah, that's Sabelski. He's next to that lap car. Not much he can really do there. I think that lap
Yeah.
car was what caused the separation up there near the front. I mean, everyone trying to make it around him. It's not easy on a track like Pocono to deal with lap traffic.
Yeah, and I gotta agree. I see. Never mind. I just have terrible eyesight.
The Colburn fans are definitely have something to be excited about thus far tonight. He's been putting on a show out here tonight so far.
Yeah, just putting on a clinic at Pocono. I mean, we talked to him. I think it was last week at Atlanta. I think he was excited. He had a great run at Atlanta, then a little bit of misfortune towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to see it, but at the same time, making things look a little better out here tonight.
Hoping history doesn't repeat it.
Yeah. With 10 to go here, we're on board Davis Braun here. He's still looking to make his pass.
Yeah, and plenty of time.
See, he takes that inside line just a little quicker than Colburn. He's going to have a faster exit, but I believe they're just going to be bump drafting. Yep. They're approaching 3 seconds of space from 4th place right now, and almost 1.7 seconds up on 3rd place. They've got a good gap here in between 3 and 4. So
Yeah, they got a good thing going. I think they both understood that it's the smartest move to give themselves a winning position. It wasn't very responsible.
Oh, we got a caution out here. Miguel Romero is going to be involved.
Oh, that's really going to shake things up here.
Yeah, we're going to have to run back here and take a look at that one. And oh, yeah, I think it's going to be right through here. Oh.
Yeah, the 187 of
Miguel Romero.
Romero gets up into the wall, but I'm not sure if that warranted a whole caution.
Oh. And I mean, yeah, that's definitely going to shake things up here. It seems as though it was a very small incident to warrant a caution, but it's definitely going to make things interesting out here with 9 to go out here. We're under our 4th caution, Kevin. How does this change things up here for these drivers?
Yeah, I think it's a blessing and a curse. These guys were running it super tight on fuel. This is gonna open that up a little bit, help them out a little bit. So they're gonna stop stressing about the fuel as much. They can probably get through a green white checkered now. But on the tail end of that, our leaders were playing on a little bump draft strategy, and they had gotten almost 2 seconds of separation from 3rd place. So all that hard work is thrown in the trash. It's a reset.
And here comes the pits. Everyone's in.
Everyone's actually coming down, which kind of surprises me. Can we look at the map real quick? I want to see if anybody at all stayed out, because
Number
the
7
number
just
7 car.
making up laps, it seems.
Well then, no, nobody stayed out, which is very surprising to me, because I thought that it might be possible to
finish the race, but maybe not.
Yeah, finish the race. Yeah, maybe not though.
How about Caleb Colburn? Once again, he wins the race out of pit road.
Yeah, shout out to Caden Colburn. I appreciate the subscription. Giving your cheers to Caleb Colburn, who has dominated this race so far. super excited to see how this one finishes. Hopefully, at least somewhat in his favor. You know, you don't want to see him run all these laps in the front of the field and then not even get a podium
I was about to say,
finish.
that's got to be the most demoralizing thing, running 90% of the race up in the front, and then, you know. I've had it happen before.
Yeah, and you know, it's definitely not fun, especially with these 80 lap races. You know, they spend their whole evening out here and just hoping they can keep it clean and, you know, get what they came for.
And I mean, overall, the incidents we've seen out here tonight thus far, they've kept it well within reason. I mean, the guys seem to know what they're doing. They've been able to keep it under control, and we haven't had any crazy wrecks out here tonight. You know, knock on wood, of course, but so far so good is what I'm trying to say.
And it's going to be about 6 to go when we go green, so plenty of racing still. That's, you know, 13, 14, I think actually it's 16 miles of racing. I don't fucking know how much racing it is. It's 2.5 times 6. 15, I think. Yeah, about 15 miles of racing left, which is a lot of racing, Luke, and anything can happen.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's been proven out here tonight so far. I mean, at this
I
point,
think
I think Caleb Colburn has got to be the favorite to win out here so far tonight. I mean, he's had a dominant performance, but if anyone can do it, Davis Braun or Miguel Colon or even Tarlev, those are three very, very difficult cars for him to be defending against.
Yeah, and you know, I think the fact that it's 6 laps as opposed to like maybe 2 on a green-white checkered, I think that really helps Colburn because he's putting up the better lap times. It really it lessens the chance of like a luck-based win just because of how short it is. So I think it's beneficial to him that there's at least 5 or 6 laps to go when they go green.
Yeah. And the pace car is going to be going in here. We're going to be going green here for the 5th time tonight at Pocono, and Caleb Colburn with the jump.
Yeah, the command of Colburn, and he's on the inside, but he comes up very quick, opening up the door to Tarlev, but he settles in behind Colburn as they're single file already, going into turn 1. A little bit higher of a line than we've seen from Colburn right there, but it seemed to have worked, whatever he did there.
Ooh, a little bit of wall rubbing there, it seems.
Maybe a little bit of a different line because they're on those new tires.
They're going to fan out behind them.
You know, actually, I don't know if they're on new tires. They only get 3 sets out
I was about
here.
to say, there's a damn good chance some of these drivers didn't take new tires. I'm sorry, one scheme I'm just now noticing out here that I cannot believe I haven't noticed just yet is the number 242 Seattle Kraken NHL team truck out here. We said it once. I've always wanted to see an NHL team vehicle out here, and we've seen. Oh, we're wrecking! They're wrecking behind, and holy shit, they're wrecking behind them. Oh man, and it's gonna collect many cars.
That's gonna be Loveridge.
And holy shit, they're wrecking everywhere.
That's gonna be Raz, I think, might be involved in that.
Loveridge. We're gonna see Richard. Oh no, the janitor.
James is in there.
Oh boy, we're gonna have to go back and take a look at that one. That was we've seen the big one at Pocono.
Yeah, that was a not didn't collect too many, only 4 cars, but I mean, just all 4 of them were just massive.
I mean,
hits.
it was some pretty nasty wrecks. We'll go and take a look at the. I believe does it happen in front of them? Oh, yep, happens. What is that? The number 94, I want to say that is.
94, 34, something like that. I think that's going to be 24 is Jose Medina. I don't think that's him. No, that's definitely 94, but I don't see one.
I'm seeing a 94. Maybe we. Oh no, it's the janitor. It's another false number thing. He's the number 51. It's the janitor. Let's maybe get a. It's always hard to see here. Let's switch to the far chase here. Maybe see if we can get a good. Oh, yep. And I believe the number 14 gets into the rear right quarter panel of Pitzenbarger, and I mean, you can see just the slightest bit of contact just causes, oh, God.
Just
And
devastating
jeez,
below.
I mean, yeah, these,
5 laps to go.
oh.
And you know, that's that green-white checkered I was just talking about. It's here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to unfortunately probably be the end of the race for most of those drivers involved. Unless they're, yeah, just that much damage, it's gonna be quite hard to recover from that one. And maybe we'll get one more angle there of that one. Jeez. Yeah, that was a nasty one. You know, we're pacing around again, Kevin. It's gonna be our first green-white checkered of the night. I believe. Is that gonna count as our first? I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna count as our first, technically.
I think, nonetheless, it is going to be 2 laps to go.
Yeah. Just not officially our first. Yeah, it's going to be Caleb Colburn, Tarlev, Braun, and Sabelski. They're going to be your top 4 out here tonight. But one not to count out, Tim Collier, he's up into P5. Miguel Colon back there with him. It's a very tough front pack, but I mean, Caleb Colburn's been the man to beat tonight. He has led a vast majority of this race tonight, and the only other man to really lead very many laps was Miguel Colon, who has fallen back to P6. It seems as though the race session time
25
length,
minutes
yeah.
left.
So we still got, yeah.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time out here. They're going to be pacing again the second time by. They're going to go too wide here. And I mean, you know, Kevin, I feel like we always get on the discussion every night. What are the schemes you're looking at out here tonight? Any of them that are standing out to you?
Yeah, you know, I like that Jeff Gordon scheme.
Oh, the very, very funny side comment here. A guy that walked into my work today was wearing a Jeff Gordon race jacket, believe it or not.
Sweet.
And I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for the rainbow and I'm a sucker for the flames, so any Jeff Gordon schemes I see, even the Pepsi one, just, they get me going. But other than that, I do like the sorry scheme.
Yeah, always a good one.
I don't fuck with the Kraken.
Yeah, I personally don't either. But, you know, still an NHL team, be it represented, I like it.
I think that's about all of them that I've seen out there. I see a DeWalt. I think that might be a Christopher Bell scheme, maybe up towards the front. Fuck him, too. Not a big fan of Christopher Bell at all. Look, today's Dakota race was Trackhouse's race to win.
Yeah, it most definitely was.
These Joe Gibbs pussies came and stole it, but that's the name of the game. They shouldn't have wrecked themselves out. I know you like those Can-Am schemes out there, though.
Oh yeah, a big Can-Am guy myself. But nonetheless, our bullshitting must come to an end as we are going to be going green this time by 2 to go, sorry, at Pocono. Caleb Colburn with the takeoff.
Here we go. We're green, 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 and he is going up through the gears, trying to get up to maximum speed going into turns 1 of 3 here at the Tricky Triangle. And Tarlev up in second, Braun third, Zabelski fourth, and Cologne fifth.
And we're having a caution again. And yep, we're seeing some wrecking behind him, it seems. And we're gonna have to go back and take a look at who was involved in that one. I believe it's gonna be Noah Loveridge involved in that one. Let's go ahead and take a look back at what happened there with him. Oh, and then it seems like him. Well, something happened between the number 7 up in front of him, but it seems as though he just got loose. Noah Loveridge just got loose, but let's see what happens up here with the number 7. Seems like he comes down into the number 45. Yeah.
45 there. It's going to be the 7 of Marcos Hernandez and the 45 of Brian Faulkner. So, I don't know. Unfortunate for them. I don't know if Faulkner has any damage just from getting hit. I wouldn't imagine. So, if so, not that bad. But we're gonna be pacing around again for our first green-white checker.
Yet again, it seems like it's, I feel like I'm a broken record out here tonight. Caleb Colburn, he's going to be the man leading us off here yet again tonight.
Luke?
Yes?
I'd like to point out this is our first green-white checkered of 1.
Oh!
So this is going to be
This is it. This is going to be it,
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. Shit just got real. This is going to be our only green-white checkered of the night, and it's going to be Caleb Colburn, Stalin Tarlev, and Davis Braun. They're going to be your top 3. And boy, oh boy, it's going to be an exciting last couple laps out here, Kevin, knowing that this is going to be the only green-white checkered. So it's going to be racing all the way throughout here.
Yeah, and we're going to be going green next time by, so, you know, all things exciting. 2 laps to go, and it's gonna be a shootout.
Man, what an exciting one it's been out here tonight, Kevin. We've seen a lot of action. We've seen a good amount of more minor-sized wrecks, but, I mean, we did see a pretty good one there just a few moments ago. But it's been an exciting one out here, Kevin. I mean, I feel as though it's going to get really hectic here in these last couple laps. I mean, these drivers are going to be giving it their all out here, really pushing these cars to the limits.
Yeah, I've got to agree. I mean, now's the chance. There's literally no other time that they could push it. There's not going to be another caution. Well, there might be another caution, but that would end the race.
Yeah. All tire saving is going to come down to this, folks.
Yeah, and how about we do a little something special? We haven't done this, but you can make it a little smaller if you want, just to you know, get the majority of the race in frame. But let's have our leader on cam for these last 2 laps. As
Yeah,
we're
I think that's a
actually
great
going on
idea.
one more time. So we'll leave Caleb alone until it's
Until
close
we
to
go to
green.
green, yeah, until we get ready to go green.
Yeah, and look, we're going to Iowa next week, I believe. So, super exciting stuff there. A little bit of a short trek compared to what we've seen. What do you think of Iowa? Or not? God, I just got a word that Luke is draining the lizard, so I've just been talking to myself here for past 10 seconds.
And I only had to ask 3 times before you read it. And we're back. Blizzard has been drained, and they will be going green this time by... Oh, we're not even close to the restart. We're
Not
good.
close,
We're
but I
good.
was asking, what do you think of Iowa? Because that's where we're going next week.
Oh boy, Iowa's. I've been running on it the last couple nights out here in the ARCA series. Now I don't know if it's just the ARCA cars, but boy, that turns
Handful.
1 and 2, it's brutal, even with fresh tires. So it's gonna be tricky
Here
for
we
these
go.
drivers.
Coming out of 3. Pace truck leading the way.
Caleb
And
Colburn with
it
the command,
is in.
and we're green. Caleb Colburn with the jump. Are we gonna see him slide to that outside line like we've seen him do every restart? Yes, we will. That seems to be the preferred line for him of the night. He's going to have a very good lead here as we are
He's
2
got
to
a
go.
3/10 of a second lead with 2 to go. Tarlev and Braun are kind of side by side, but here they go. They're starting to close it. It's going to be led by Tarlev, and it's going to be just Tarlev, as Braun is now half a second back.
I think tire wear is starting to show here.
I've got to agree, Luke, and Tarlev inching closer and closer. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. It's going to come down to the last lap out here. As you see, he goes down and gets some of that grip down on the yellow line again.
White flag
And the
is
white
out.
flag is out. The flagger is absolutely tweaking.
And Caleb Colburn with the lead going into turn 1. Tarlev and Braun hot on his heels. But as of right now, Caleb Colburn, he's been the man to beat all night. He's got a solid lead out here going into the back straightaway.
And here's the longest straight.
Tarlev about 0.13 seconds back. He's closing the gap.
He's there.
Oh, and it seems Colburn's staying just out of reach. They're going to be going through that last turn here. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen now.
That's going to have to happen in the entrance of this turn.
He's going to try for the inside, but there's just not enough room.
Not enough room, and
Caleb Colburn's going to take the cake here.
Caleb Colburn coming out of the corner and getting himself a win here at Pocono.
And how about Caleb Colburn? I mean, he was an unstoppable force all night out here, and he managed to bring home the win.
Let's take a look at our unofficial.
Here we'll go.
Yeah, Tarlev just a quarter second back. He was there. Good race for him. Good finish for him. And Braun securing a podium spot as well. It's a good race for all 3 of those guys. But how about the domination of Caleb Colburn tonight, Luke?
Yeah, I mean, he's proven time and time again that he's the man to get things done out here. I mean, he had a good win last week, and now he's got 2 in a row out here, at least as far as I know. I don't think did he have any more before that?
Cologne had last week.
Yeah, sorry. So no,
The week
sorry.
before that, Colburn won.
Okay, so he's had two wins in a very short succession. I mean, he's clearly gotten a winning formula going here. I mean, you got to wonder. I mean, he's been getting it done recently. Is this something to worry about for Davis Braun here?
Yeah, and look at that wheel go. He's doing the burnouts.
And oh yeah, we got to hide the results. We got to see the victory shitties.
And absolutely poised. You know, he's kept a straight face all the way through.
That he has.
He came here to
He came here to
win. And that was win. Yep.
And a very good win out here for Caleb Colburn. I believe we're going to go ahead and get transferred over here to our other section here so we can get some post-race interviews going on. Yeah, I guess I'll go and move over there now. All right. And how about it for Caleb Colburn?
Yeah, I mean, just dominated that one, it seems, and you know, he was up there all race, and no one seemed to be able to get around him, Luke.
Yeah, I mean, he was the man to beat all night. I mean, he put on an absolute show for us tonight.
Yeah. We're waiting for everybody to gather in and get dialed up. get some interviews in. But we're going to Iowa next week, Luke. That's going to be a very exciting race. I know we talked about it a little bit before the end of the last caution there, but you think we're going to see a lot of the same guys up front, or you think the difference in track is going to be or a difference in track type is going to be a difference in finisher?
I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, I for one think that the Iowa turns are very difficult. I mean, but then again, we saw a lot of the drivers out here taking these turns out here on Pocono very well, which I also find very difficult. So it's really tough for me to call personally.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to try to dial up Davis Braun here. He's going to be your third place finisher, I think. He was up there.
Yeah, looking at the results here, he finished P3.
Third place. Yep, I'm going to get him in here. Hey, Davis, guys in the booth, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, you got a copy?
Yep, I got you. It was a great race for you. Another podium finish for you. The momentum carries. It seemed like there was a lot of issues for a lot of the guys coming out of the exit of 3 there. Not for you, not for any of the guys in the lead, but it seemed to be that was the reoccurring issue. How were you able to keep your car straight, keep it off the wall, and get yourself into a podium finish?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, congrats to Caleb. That was a great drive out there today and a really good win. And I mean, as far as it goes, Pocono, I really love the track, especially the three unique corners. It's, they're all turning left, but it almost feels like a road course in a sense. So kind of going back to what we talked about last week, just trying to keep it on the track, off the walls, as you saw. I don't know who else, but I saw particularly Miguel and a little bit of Chris really banging down the concrete out there today. So yeah, just trying to keep it clean for the run to the end, and yeah, focus on kind of just running the pace as always. It's really good race, really fun race. I honestly don't know too much that happened to talk back. I was kind of just chilling the whole time, or at least most of it. And waiting for the strategy to play out and see what fun that brought. And then we seemed to get a caution about every time that was going to heat up and bring us all down the pit road. But other than that, it was a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun for us to watch as well. You still are the points leader on the season, but Caleb's closing in on you. Coming into Iowa, are you confident in your ability at a little bit of a shorter track than we've seen the past few weeks to get the job done, maintain the lead?
I, as confident as every week, whether that's high or low, I'm not probably the best to judge. But yeah, we'll all see how it goes. Like I said, we're taking it just one race at a time, running as well as we can, the pace that we can, and the strategy that appears to be the best. So we'll just kind of see how it all goes.
All right, congratulations on the third place finish, and thanks for the interview. Anyone you'd like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Yeah, sure. Thank you guys as always here, and also thanks to CMS and Tim for putting on another great night of this great league. And again, congrats to Colburn on a great drive tonight, or Caleb. Yeah, well, Caleb Colburn. So both the ways. Anyway, yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, congratulations and thanks, Davis. That was Davis Braun, your third place finisher. I don't think we're gonna get Steli and Tarlev in here. I know he was in one of these channels earlier. He's your second place runner up. But now Luke, it's about time for our favorite interview of the night. And that's gonna be our race winner, Caleb Colburn.
Yeah, let's get him in here.
Hey Caleb, guys in the booth, can you hear me?
Yep, I got you, Universe. How's it going?
Man, how about that race? You absolutely pissed excellence. You led the majority of those laps out there, and you were just the guy to beat. How did you get out there and get that done in that fashion?
I mean, I didn't like a lot of the flat turns it has.
I think we're having a
And
little bit of mic issues with you right now, Caleb. Don't know if you have the right mic set for Discord.
You got me now?
Yep,
Yeah,
there we
we
are.
got
We
you now.
got you.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, it was the wrong mic set, so perfect. Yeah, so yeah, I really like Pocono. The flat turns I always enjoy. I don't know if y'all could tell, but I was really struggling in turn one. That's where I lost most of my pace there. But Pocono is a lot like a drafting track on the trucks. It's fun to lead. It's kind of hard to though, because like you feel like you pull out in one of the turns and they catch you back up on the end of the straight. So I feel like I was eating my tires up, so I'm surprised I held on to the lead as much as I did. But yeah, I had a blast. I love Pocono. I'm also looking forward to next week, and yeah.
Yeah, and it seemed you were able to find some grip down a little bit lower than the other guys. It seemed your left tires were getting all the way down on those, down on the yellow line almost. Do you prefer that bottom line, and you think it's beneficial to get as low as you can there, or was it really tearing up the tires?
It didn't tear up the tires as much as I thought it would on the long runs, but yeah, I try to back off the turns a little bit here. That way I can get some more momentum going through, specifically 2 and 3. I really love turn 2 here. I feel like I can just like book it through there, but yeah, had a great time in this race. Strategy turned out a lot better than last week. Last week was a bummer, so I'm glad I got to finish this race on the lead lap and in a good position.
Yeah, and it was a great race tonight. Just absolute dominance. You got the momentum now. You're catching. You're up there almost to Davis in the point standings, down a race too. Very impressive runs in the past few weeks for you. Are you confident going into Iowa next week?
I can't lie and say I don't love Iowa too, but Davis is really competitive. So is Chris and a lot of the other guys. So I feel like anytime I feel like I have an advantage somewhere, one of them always pops up and is more competitive than me in a lot of the aspects of the race. So we'll see how it plays out. And as always, I appreciate CMS putting this stuff on and you guys picking up the broadcasting for us. And of course, everyone out there in the field that participates, making this race competitive.
Yeah, congratulations, Caleb. Another congratulations has been given by one Caden Colburn in the chat, so maybe some fans out there seeing that dominant performance. But thanks for the interview and congrats.
Yeah, guys, I appreciate it. You have a good one.
You too.
You as well.
That was your race winner, Caleb Colburn, and it was a great race. You want to get maybe one more interview in here? We usually shoot for 3. We weren't able to get P2 in here.
Yeah,
I don't know if Ray or Jay wants to get in here. Shit. How do I do this? Oh, Ray's got his hand raised. There we go.
We'll get your P5 finish, I believe. That was right.
Hey, Ray, guys in the booth. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, it was a good run. You were hanging out around, I want to say, P12 to P10 for a lot of the run, and then there towards the end, you were able to capitalize off the cautions, and you were able to get yourself all the way up to a P5 finish. Talk us through not only how the race went, the track felt, but also how you were able to pierce through the field there at the end.
Yeah, well, I started 4th. I was running 4th or 5th, I think, through that first couple of cautions, and then I think maybe the caution in the middle there, I decided to come in and get fuel. So when I came back in later, that I might be able to leapfrog some guys with taking less fuel, but it kind of burned me a little bit. I got stuck back there in the back for a while.
Yeah, and you were able to find your way back to the front. It was a good drive for you. We talk about the grip and the some issues we saw with that grip. How did you feel coming out of those turns, and how it really ran your tires, especially turn 3?
Yeah, turn 3 I was okay. I was making up a lot of time on guys in turn 1. And then it seemed like you get behind if you don't get your passes done early, you're just stuck behind a group of guys for a while, and that's what happened to me in that middle of the run. And then those last couple late cautions, I kept getting passed by guys on the restarts because it didn't get going. We just had another caution right after another. So luckily we went the last 2 laps, and I was able to make up some couple positions there.
Yeah, congratulations on getting a P5 finish, a good finish for you, a good race for you. Thanks for the interview. Anyone you would like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Yeah, just thanks to you guys for broadcasting, and Tim and the whole CMS crew. It's been a pretty good series. So yeah, thanks to them. Thanks, you guys.
All right, I appreciate it, Ray. That was Ray Partridge, your 3rd or 5th place finisher. A good run for him. A good start, maybe a little bit of a strategy that didn't pan out midway through, but he was able to recover and finish near the front, Luke. I had a great night tonight at Pocono. I don't know if you're a big fan of the Tricky Triangle, I know you aren't a big fan of driving it yourself.
Well, there's a big difference when it comes to broadcasting and actually racing in it. When it comes to racing into it, there's a reason I just bought the track here now. So definitely not
Yeah,
the biggest fan of driving it, but broadcasting it and seeing the guys that actually do know how to take the lines, it's definitely refreshing to see people actually know how to drive the track.
yeah, and maybe we are one of those guys that eats a little bit of that turn 3 exit wall for
A little too much, I believe. A little too
for
much as I hate to admit.
yeah, but all in all, it's a great track. It was a great race. We saw a lot of competition, a lot of good driving, and we got Iowa coming up next week, so that's super exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I know we briefly touched on it. I have been racing on it the last about week and a half, and it is, like I said, I don't know if it's just the older cars that I was in, but that turns 1 and 2, it is rough. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these drivers take to the track of Iowa. But do we have any other broadcasts coming up here in the foreseeable future, Kevin? We need to take
Yeah,
note of.
we're pretty open. We have our Wednesday league with R&R. We're going to be running on Wednesday. Then we have, I think we're open on Thursday this week. I don't think we are doing Western this week. We will be with them in the future, but but Wednesday, and then obviously we have next Sunday at Iowa. So those are a couple broadcasts to pay attention to. We have a Discord that we just opened up. We're trying to get any racing fans, any ninth gear fans, anybody that wants to hang out in there. I just put a few of the links in our live broadcasts chat. At 25 users, which is about 5 or 6 away, we are going to be running a giveaway for a Denny Hamlin autograph. So if you like Denny Hamlin, all you got to do is join, come hang out. It's a good time. So we're getting that underway. We got some graphics coming up this week as well. Going to try to get a car out on the track. I don't know if we're going to try to get one at CMS. I know I talked to Noah. He might try to make one, which would be incredible. But yeah, just a lot of things happening at ninth gear, and I'm super excited, Luke.
Yeah, definitely some exciting things to come, and some exciting races to looking forward to. And again, this has been Ninth Gear Broadcasting. Thank you all for joining us, and a special thanks to the CMS Racing League for putting this thing on and letting us broadcast their league. Thanks again to the viewers for coming out and the drivers for making it exciting and entertaining. Thank you all for joining us. Ninth Gear Broadcasting.